My name's Jon. I'm the founder of Cabin, and we are building a network city of neighborhoods where you'd want to grow up. Here's a little bit of information about me, my background. I've been thinking about working on and living in Cabin's network city for the last 5 years, and I plan to keep living in it for at least the next 50. Cabin is a network city of modern villages. We're a global network of intergenerational neighborhoods, walkable pockets of family-friendly urbanism. This picture here is my dream village. You can see cabins that people have built, solar panels, community gardens, drones, and a big table in the middle for epic dinner parties. But at Cabin, we don't just dream of the future we want or make images of it. We're actually building it. This is a map of the first 17 Cabin neighborhoods, real places, neighborhoods around the world where you can go live. They span across the geographic spectrum, from the Upper East Side of Manhattan in New York City to a remote outpost in the Eastern Sierra of California, from a nomad base in Chiang Mai to a city on the coast of Portugal, from special economic zones in Honduras to a small town on a pond near Boston. But cities are about more than just places. They're really about people. These are some of the people of Cabin's network city. Every picture you see here and in the rest of the presentation are real members of our community. And you can see we like to get together to break bread, have dinner, go on hikes, go to the park, do yoga, build community gardens, and sit around the campfire playing music. What ties all of these people together is Cabin's 5 obvious truths. These are the principles at the core of our community, and they're derived from the lived experiences and practices of our community. It's not enough to just have words. You have to actually live these principles in your day-to-day life. Our first one is live near friends. At Cabin, we believe in turning our neighbors into friends and our friends into neighbors. They say that you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. And if that's true, then we should spend time around people who we admire. At Cabin, that means surrounding ourselves with curious, thoughtful, ambitious people. We're missing a slide here for the second obvious truth, which is it takes a village. It says do the thing, but that's the third one. We'll get to that in a minute. It takes a village to raise kids, but at Cabin we also know that it takes kids to raise a village. And these are some of the pictures of gatherings of the families in our community. If you want to build permanent neighborhoods, they need to be intergenerational. And we don't think that everyone needs to have kids, but we do think that the whole village should be a part of raising them. There we go, looks like they swapped it. The third one is do the thing. And at Cabin, we believe in actually building things. We value actions over ideas, and we make, test, and create things in the real world. We practice a form of governance called duocracy. It's pretty simple. Here's how it works. If you want something, shut up and do the thing. These are some pictures of people building physical infrastructure in our neighborhoods. And sometimes that's what we need to do, but sometimes it's as simple as just knocking on the door next to you and saying hi to your neighbor. The key is to take big ideas and break them down into small practices, because cities are not built from the top down. They're grown from the bottom up. The fourth obvious truth is touch grass. We love being on the internet, but we also like getting offline into the real world. At Cabin, we believe that the greatest store of value is a resilient local community. And we are building a resilient, regenerative, global network of these communities. Finally, our fifth obvious truth is play infinite games. Life is a long-term, live-action role-playing game, and you get to create your own character. At Cabin, our game has a lot of fun side quests, things like one sauna teams, ceremonial hats, non-fungible longhorn cattle, and even an actual buried treasure chest. We believe in playing long-term games because we know that Rome was not built in a day, and Cabin is not going to be finished in our lifetimes. Now, this didn't all happen overnight. During the pandemic, I moved out to the Texas Hill Country and started building a cabin and inviting strangers from the internet to come hang out with me. It's true. From there, the people who came launched a creator residency program, a DAO, and we started actually building the physical infrastructure of our first neighborhood. Over the next few years, we grew to a global co-living network for nomads in nature, dozens of locations around the world. But there was a problem. Nomads, as many of you probably know, are nomadic, and they don't want to settle down in one place. We wanted to build something more permanent and lasting. So we went back to the drawing board. A year ago, when this conference was happening, I was having my first kid, and many members of our community have become parents over the last few years. We don't have time to wait for some ideal city of the future. We need places to raise our families right now. So that's what we're doing. I told you about the 17 neighborhoods that we've already started building. We have hundreds of citizens, over 1,500 registered members, and over 10,000 people have attended our events. Even more importantly, in our community, we've changed each other's lives. These are just a couple tweets from the last few weeks from members of our community to give you a representative sample. But we're not stopping there. Over the next 5 years, we are going to grow 500 neighborhoods. Before 2030, we are going to have a network city of 500 neighborhoods. That's over 100,000 people living in our communities around the world. This chart shows the growth of our neighborhood accelerator program. So we just launched the program at the beginning of this year, and each cohort has been over twice as large as the previous cohort and has had even higher quality. So if we just keep doing cohorts of 30 new neighborhoods every season for the next 5 years, we'll get to our goal. And if we continue on this growth trajectory, we'll actually get there much faster. This is a couple pictures of the facilitators of the upcoming cohort. So on the left, you see here Savannah and her partner Jon. They live in North Boulder Park, and they like to get together with their neighbors. They have Starlink co-working in the parks. They go on hikes in the mountains, and they shut down their street for block parties. And on the right, you see Shawnee and Tim. They've been neighborhood builders in Australia for over a decade, and they like to throw dinner parties, get together to build their community garden, and sit around the campfire making something called a jaffle. They're Australians, I don't really know what it means. They will be leading 30 new neighborhoods joining us that kicks off in our accelerator cohort this week. If you want to join our accelerator cohort, you can go to cabin.city/accelerator and apply today for the next cohort. You'll be joining a global network of neighborhood builders. We are structured as a DAO so that we can transparently and collectively govern our network of neighborhoods and our shared treasury of resources. The hundreds of people you've seen in these slides and the thousands more that are part of Cabin's Network City are some of the most incredible humans I've ever met, and it's been one of the great joys of my life getting to know them. If you want to be a part of this movement, you can find us at cabin.city. There you'll see our neighborhood directory of neighborhoods around the world, as well as our member census. This is a picture of my census profile. You can see my tokens and passport stamps and citizenship. It gives a sense of the role that I've played in this community. And if you look closely, you'll actually see that I've already claimed the passport stamp for being here today. So you can go ahead and claim your first stamp and get started at cabin.city. But don't stop there. If you're serious about network cities or network states, which I can tell that you are because you're here today, then get started building in your local community. Find the other people in our census near you and reach out to them. Join our neighborhood accelerator, and together we will build the first network city. Thank you.